In prison, his profession became strange in the body, building strange and keeping himself in excellent physical shape. He didn't learn this art in a comfortable gym, surrounded by 10 jocks and spandex-clad girls. He weighed only 68 kilograms and was 183 centimeters tall. Looks like a fire tower. All inmates play on the weakness of others in this place. So you understand that you have no choice and you just need to be strong. It is for this reason that many inmates train and choose sports for themselves, whether they have the conditions for this or not. Around prison's workouts there are a lot of rumors. You can read incredible records of Paul Weid that did 50 pull-ups on one arm. On the other hand, Masl, who after leaving prisons weighed 120 kilograms of pure muscles. Of course, any of our ideas about the prison will be false, because there are a huge number and conditions will vary greatly from the country, the year of construction, purpose, the regime and much more. For example, in 1998, California banned gyms because prisons could use barbells and free weights for fighting and self-defense. However, to these days in some prisons there are still free weights that are carefully changed to the floor and walls, but even such gyms are very rare in these days. So, the most available way to work out in prison is of course body weight. And if you don't eat enough or you aren't genetically gifted, you can still look more athletic and be able to gain enough muscle mass for you. The problem in prison is that you certainly won't reach your full potential, but sport is exactly what saved lives of many inmates. And thanks for workouts, they found a new meaning for themselves in life. In 2004, a young boy named Fergusson was sent to Missouri State Penitentiary. You can see in this photo what the guy looked like before prison. He was sentenced to 40 years. Looking ahead, I would say that the guy's parents fought for early release, which they managed to achieve in 2013. But then, young Ryan understood that he would most likely have to be in prison all 40. One day his father's visits changed his life, because he said there next, "Son, I can't help you here. You must become stronger and smarter than everyone else in this place. Only this will allow you to survive in these conditions, and only my mother and I will deal with your release." These words hit the guy's head so hard that he immediately decided to begin workout. But Ryan was lucky in the prison, because there were a couple of black machines and a sufficient amount of free weights for workouts. According to the guy, when they were released into the prison yard, inmates just talked to each other most of the time, and out of 300 people, only 50 were seriously training. He also noted that there was much more respect for the athletes who achieved the results than for the rest. And after a few years, when the guy gained a good muscle mass, he was increasingly asked for workout advices. Because everyone was aware that this guy is in exactly the same conditions as the others. He has exactly the same recovery time, but at the same time he's getting better and better month by month. By the way, this is what Fergusson's body looked like after his release. Ryan was released and continued his passion already in a normal gym. Now this guy has popular Instagram, his profile is called Life After 10. His story was shown on Netflix, and a year ago he added a photo of his current shape, which as you can see looked very worthy. The prisoners train quite banally. I think I will not tell you anything new if I mention such exercises as push-ups, handstand push-ups, triceps extensions from the floor, squats, abs crunches and other basic movements. I propose to work them into aspects that directly influence on the progress and forces the inmates to grow even in such bad conditions. The first aspect is competitive interest. As entertainment, prisoners could do push-ups for a lot of amount, did one-leg squats and used various complicated types of push-ups, which led to such an important principle as the progression of load. They also often use each other as an additional weight, and even here with the sufficient amount of force, it was possible to put someone heavier on their back. And since the load from human weight, unlike barbells and dumbbells, tends to spread unevenly, so stabilizing muscles also work very hard. This was quite enough to load himself properly. The second principle of progression is focus and involvement in the process. It's not a secret for anyone that 90% of the visitors to modern gyms are just onlookers who very often don't have any goals. The prisoners in turn are trained for the result and follow a completely the obvious goal of becoming stronger and more powerful visually. This focus and the absence of a time limit for workouts allows you to train much more and more productively than most ordinary people do. And what heightened some of the other prisons, inmates managed to bring pharma as well. The same Kali Masl, in one of the videos he admitted to using it. But although it was obvious to everyone who understands at least a little what bodybuilding and natural physique is. Of course, all these unreal records such as 50 pull-ups on one arm are nothing more than a myth that was spread on the internet in order to attach importance to the very person of Paul Weid, whose name by the way is a pseudonym and not a real name. The same rumors were connected with many famous prisoners, including also Charles Bronson, about whom were written books and made films. According to legend, they almost bent steel bars of cells with their bare hands. But reality and cinema are unfortunately too far apart of each other, and the only thing we can trust is the story of real and living people like Ryan Fergusson. Guys, thumbs your likes down below and subscribe to the channel. See you next video!